Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ultra David on the Tuesday.
That's right, and this is James Chen welcoming you to Ultra Chen Tuesday Show Live Radio. How's everybody going?
Well, I think everybody's pretty fantastic, James. We have what should be an interesting show tonight for your listening pleasure.
That's right.
Topics include Final Round. What else?
That's going to take up most of the conversation. But I believe we are also going to talk about some new announcements from some upcoming events, as well as some news regarding Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you want to hop into Final Round?
Sure thing. We can talk about the results of that tournament. All right. Okay. That's long enough.
Yeah. Just want to point out that was intentional. I know we have a reputation, but that was intentional.
Yes. How's everybody going? We're coming to you live from Santa Monica here for the Tuesday show.
That's right.
Included with video.
Now there's video.
Yes,
that's right.
Exactly.
That's right. So, Final Round. Mm-hmm. It was this past weekend in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
It's one of the biggest tournaments in the tournament year, for many a game.
Yeah, and it was pretty much, I mean, there were some other Capcom Pro Tour ranking events, but this was definitely the start of the premier events. This is the inaugural, I mean, Final Round started that last year, and it really kind of feels like the kickoff this year as well.
Yeah, so very, very big for Street Fighter 4, very big for Tekken, as per usual. Actually, there were a bunch of entrants for Guilty Gear for Marvel and for Under Night. So, I mean, you look, it's always a big event, Final Round. It was often, at one time, said to be the Evo of the Southeast. Right. I feel like it probably still is in terms of numbers. But
yeah, and especially for games like Tekken. Like,
Tekken.
Final Round is Tekken's Evo, pretty much. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly right. And I had a lot of fun. We didn't have a terrible flight this time. Flight was at a reasonable hour.
That's right.
And we showed up and we had some dinner at the little downstairs bar, hung out a little bit, and then we went to sleep and, got like a reasonable amount of sleep. Yeah. Not like
I was still tired, though.
You were still tired, that's true.
There was that one chunk, the 4-hour block that I had from about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Where basically I was just falling asleep like the entire time. It was pretty bad, so I'm not going to lie. But outside of that, after that, I took a nap, and then I came back for the semis, and the top 8, I felt like I did okay, so.
Yeah. Always cool to hang out with people there. I mean, the thing that I look forward to the most outside of games, outside of commentary, is the third strike.
That's right.
North Carolina crew is really good. They're basically like East Coast third strike at this point. Like nobody else plays. Like 5 other people play. So when I go to these events, it's like me and like a couple of Midwest players and North Carolina. Like a dozen players.
Just playing on the head-to-head cabinets.
Playing head-to-head third, really man. Cool. It was awesome.
Yeah.
At one point, nobody knocked me off for like an hour. That was pretty sick.
It's awesome.
North Carolina mostly wasn't there at the time. But
it sounds like you also had some fairly inebriated opponents.
That's also true. Yeah. But when they were there, nobody had a streak more than like 3 wins, as far as I know.
Awesome.
Like maybe
That's
4
really cool.
at the most. Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. A lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Super Turbo was not on the head-to-head.
Right.
There was 2 Super Turbos. I saw one on a cabinet, but like no one was really playing it, and then the other one was like was one of the undammed boards hooked up that you could plug your joystick into. I didn't get a chance to play any of those. Yeah.
Just wondering. I mean, I'm sure it works fine, but
I've played on one of those before, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay.
So, yeah,
awesome.
It's perfectly fine. You can even configure your buttons on it.
Really?
Yeah. So if you hold 3 buttons when you plug it in, a little light will flash, and then you hit them in the order of jab, short, strong, forward, fierce, roundhouse, and that configures your buttons.
Wow, that is fascinating.
It's that or jab, strong, fierce, short, forward, roundhouse.
That's
I can't
what
remember.
Think,
it's one of those 2 orders. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in any case, that's a really cool idea. Street Fighter 4?
All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the Street Fighter 4 results. Some crazy, crazy results.
This was a giant tournament, and I remember one of the players, I think it might have been Shen, saying that he thought it was as hard as Evo.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the quality of people there. There were people from from East Asia and from all over North America.
That's right.
It was quite well attended.
Yeah.
Just under 500 people.
I mean, if we go over
Big.
just the top 8, that's like not doing it justice.
No, I think you're right. So what I'd like to do is start off at about 32, top 32. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I'll tell you like who like super rough note.
Okay,
a lot of good players in that list, but I'm gonna pass over most of them. Gamer B was 25th. So was I'm Still the Daddy, the UK Guile player.
Yeah.
Tokido was also 25th. Itabashi Zangief was 17th. So was Smug. So was Infiltration. So was Xiaohai. So was Dako. So was Filipino Champ, K-Brad, and Sanford.
Wait,
17th place.
17th, right?
17th place.
Yeah, okay.
13th places included Knuckle Duel, Chris T, Daigo, Mago. 9th place is Ricky Ortiz, Bonchan, Tampa Bison, and Filipino Man. Now, there are a lot of good players who ended up not in the top 8, but the top 8 consisted from the bottom of Snake Eyes with Geef and with Evil
Ryu.
EMP Hero with Bison, Arturo Sanchez with Dalsum 5th. Yes. Dominion 5th, Guile. 4th place, Arcapa Kazunoko, Yun. 3rd place, Razor Fudo with Faye. E.G. Momochi, 2nd place with Ken and Elena. And winner, Razor Shen with Gen and Elena.
That's right. So
That's right.
Shen has taken the first one
Yes.
and did it in pretty epic fashion because Shen played against Momochi in grand finals at Capcom Cup.
He did.
2014.
Yes.
And admitted that when he was going into the match that he pretty much figured he was going to lose.
Yeah. He did not feel good about it. And he was validated because he lost.
2 sets.
Yeah.
2 sets. And then in winner's bracket, Shin had to fight Momochi in winner's semis. I believe
top
it was,
8.
And bodied him 3-0.
Blown up.
Losing only 1 round.
It was 6 rounds to 1. Dang.
And then in grand finals, it was closer, but didn't even get the reset. Shin still took it in the first set, and he became the first person to qualify in December. I don't think I don't think he's going to stop going to events though. He's definitely.
I know he's going to some. Yeah,
he's definitely traveling more. In fact, there was an article by Slasher that interviewed him where he literally said he quit his job so that he can concentrate on this, thanks to the extra payout from the Sony pot.
Yeah, look, if he can get to every event and win or get top 8 in all of them, you're making reasonable money.
Yeah.
You know, that's legit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's legit. So definitely congrats to him.
Well, he's $7K richer from this weekend.
Well, that was the guaranteed payout. I'm not sure how much it ended up being overall. Like I said, just under 500 players. So including the entrance fee for all of them, you know, he's going to get.
It's an extra $5,000 probably if it's $10 entrance. I don't remember what the game entrance is, but let's just assume it was $5,000 to get 70% of that.
Yeah,
it's like an extra $3,000. So he probably got about $10K from that event. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's a good chunk of change.
It is. It is. He played great. He made a lot of great decisions. I liked his character selection. It was narrowed down to Gen and Elena, and he looked great.
Yeah, I mean the theme of this is that everyone who's taking this a lot more seriously right now, including Shin, is really starting to pick up more than one character. And I really like seeing that because everyone's getting serious about it. Even Dominion, who's largely talked about being character loyal, tweeted after final round, he's like, look, some of those matches, I think I need a second character. Like he was specifically referring to Kazunoko and Fudo. Right. You know, and Yun is just a problem for Guile. He knocks Guile down, and Guile's just like, hell.
Guile can't keep him out in the first place either. Yeah, I mean, that matchup sucks.
And then against Fudo, the corner control. I mean, Dominion lives in the corner. He's usually great in the corner. Yeah. But against Fudo, it just didn't hold up because Fudo, the pressure is just too good. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope Dominion actually does that because he's talked about that in the past, and he hasn't actually put in the time consistently and in those big moments picked a secondary. I know he has a couple secondary characters, but he hasn't picked them in those big moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
I hope he does.
I mean,
of course it's hard.
I totally understand it. A lot of times you get into like you've practiced your second, and then you have to go against Fudo, Fei Long. You're like, you know what? I still know the Guile Fei Long matchup better than Rolento Fei Long, so I don't want to play this match yet. You got to do it. Even if it means you might lose really badly, you got to do it. I mean, look at what Ricky and Justin have been doing with Rose.
Exactly.
They've been playing her exclusively at some events, even though they knew they were going to do better with Rufus. They still stuck with this character to get that tournament experience. It's what Dominian's going to have to do. I hope if he goes to NCR or SCR that he plays a lot of Rolento.
Yeah. So. You can see Justin learning Rose. He doesn't have Ultra 2 down yet, right? He doesn't have stuff yet, but he's working on it, which is what you have to do. You know, some characters, again, I think you can mostly get by without having a secondary. Not that you'll win every matchup, but like there's mostly reasonable. I feel like one of those has been Ken, but even Momochi plays a secondary. So
yeah, I mean, really great on Jiran to get him to switch. I mean, that's impressive. The first match was close. Momochi won it. Second match, Jiran did much better against Ken. Really zoned out Momochi pretty badly. And then Momochi sat on the character select screen for a while and went to Elena, of all things. Apparently, Elena is the top player counter pick character.
I guess.
But it worked, and he beat Jiran pretty convincingly with Elena. So that was really interesting to see.
Yeah. Definitely my favorite to watch was Arturo Sanchez with Saban with that Dalsum. It was amazing. He didn't win, okay, but he lost to Fudo and to Momochi, and the Momochi set was quite close. There were a couple of mistakes he had that could have totally swung them in a different way, the matches. But he just played so well. I loved his decision-making. His space control was amazing. And on top of all of just how excellently he played was his reactions, because he was like consistently surprised at himself that...
Oops,
what's going on here?
I picked the wrong angle.
Okay. That he was doing so well. He seemed really surprised.
Yeah, he legitimately,
right? I mean,
every time he won like a match, like, or even a round or anything like that, the first thing he'd do is just be like, like I commented on stream that he looked like when they announced the American Idol winner, you know, the winner is always like, oh, you know, or Miss America winner kind of thing, and that's how he looked. So for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen him play that well in Street Fighter 4. Of course, he's been a top player in other games, so I'm not going to give it a blanket ever, right? Because he's been amazing before. But as far as SF4 goes, I don't feel like I've seen him play like that at least since like late vanilla, early Super.
I mean, look, I've been watching this guy play Super Turbo, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, CVS 2, or whatever. I will say that that's the best I've ever seen him play. Yeah, he was on fire. I mean, when you can do an offensive comeback on Bison with Dalsum and win.
With no Ultra 1.
With no Ultra 1, no life. He had a pixel.
Yes, he could have been chipped.
He drilled everything and just trapped him in the corner with flames and just did all sorts of things like that. I mean...
And he won with cross-up back medium kick in
the
air. You never see that. It's it's a really good cross-up, actually. But it's Dalsum, so when does he hit it?
Yeah. And he definitely credited a lot of that to Uniel. You got that information when you were talking to him, right?
Yeah, he said that playing Hilda in a zoner in a more fast-paced game really helped the speed of his decision-making.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, because Uniel has like assaults and all these other kind of different ways for overhead, so you really just have to be on your toes for blocking and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's really funny, too, because Dalsum may be the character of choice to play here because... Like, I feel like, well, obviously Hilda helped him, right? But there was just also this interview with Filipino champ. We'll talk about this a little bit later, that he won Marvel. And he said it's because his defense is so good. And I commented that I bet you it's because he played so much Dalsum in Street Fighter 4 that his defense is so good in Marvel, you know?
I've always said the smartest characters are Zangief and Dalsum.
Okay.
Fact. Sorry, everybody else. No, but I was really happy for him.
For sure.
I really was.
He was playing out of his mind. In fact, honestly, credit to the entirety of the New York scene.
Yes, they did really well.
Playing super well, because not only Dominion is kind of like, okay, we expect him to be up there. Arturo played out of his mind. Jerron Grayson, a.k.a. EMP Hero,
Yeah.
played out of his mind.
He played so well. Another player who has been great in the past and just hasn't really been there the last few years.
Dude, I've known him before Street Fighter 4. He was
me
an
too.
Alpha 3 fan. He loved Alpha 3.
Yeah.
We used to have long conversations about how great Alpha 3 was.
I used to play him in ST when I lived on the East Coast. He would come down with the New York scene to our locals, and we would play Super Turbo, and he was awesome.
Yeah, He's a super good player, super great guy, frankly.
Oh, yeah,
Just like one of
yeah.
the nicest guys that I know. Always happy to see him.
Yeah.
And, dude, he took out Mago.
Yes.
He beat Itabashi Zangief in a matchup that I don't even really think is in Bison's favor at all.
I don't think it is either, but I think he does, actually.
Well, hey, more power to him because he proved it, right?
Yeah.
So he took out Itabashi, who was one of the premier Zangief players in the world, right?
Yeah.
One of the people in the running for top 3 Zangiefs.
Yeah.
And yeah, he played so well. And even, like I said, he got Momochi to change characters. He did stuff to Momochi's Ken that no one else except now Shin was able to do. So that was really impressive.
Snake Eyes switched to Evil Ryu against Sagat. Good. Absolutely. And really caught Bonchan off guard. You could see it on Bonchan's face. He had no expectation. And look, I've known about the Evil Ryu for a little while, but I don't think he's been working on that for longer than a month or two.
Right.
As far as seriously. I know he's been playing other characters for a while, but not seriously. Totally the right call, because I know that Bonchan hates Evil Ryu. He's said that in the past. And he's used to playing against a zoner Evil Ryu, like a mid-rangey, like Ryu Evil Ryu. But this was a Zangief Evil Ryu. You can totally see, right? He would just jump. He would jump. There were lots of throws. Like it wasn't like fireball. It was how do I get in?
Yeah.
And that just really worked well. So.
I mean, look, I'm not even going to pretend that Snake Eyes' Evil Ryu is super good right now.
Yeah, even he will say that.
Yeah, it was really funny because after that happened, I ran into Brent, right? And I was talking to Brent, and I was like, dude, how about that Snake Eyes? He's like, I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah.
Every time he plays Evil Ryu at UGC, we destroy him like 0-5. Like, we body him. He's like, his Evil Ryu sucks. Yeah. But somehow it won. And, you know, largely I just say that is a lot to Snake Eyes' credit with his footsies, and also the fact that Bonchan really does hate that match. I think he kind of has a mental block on that match because he's played against Daigo so much now that he's probably just like, Evil Ryu, you know. And like you said, maybe he was approaching it like, I'm going to fight Daigo Evil Ryu, and it cost him.
Or not just Daigo, but conventional Evil Ryu is definitely... You're at crouching medium kick range and you're looking for a way to like get in with your buttons. But it's not like predict jump forward all the time and throw a lot. So I feel like those things definitely worked in Geef's favor, in Snake Eyes' favor. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, here's a question. We didn't really get to talk about it as much as probably I want to. What did you see Shin do that changed that matchup so drastically from Capcom Cup?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back and watch Capcom Cup to see what the changes were.
Right.
I mean, I remember some things that he did differently, like there were some different spacings, absolutely. And he went crouching strong rather than crouching strong hands a lot. I'm not even necessarily sure why.
I mean, there was one time that he did crouching strong hands, and then Momochi immediately threw a fireball.
Yeah.
And he had to respect the fireball after it didn't hit him, so maybe it was just something like that, you know. But I definitely the only thing that I can picture is that Shin really hit less buttons. He's a buttonsy kind of guy. And I felt like he hit a lot of buttons. But again, that's just my perception. I can go back and watch Capcom Cup, and he didn't hit any buttons and died anyway. Right. So I'll just have to see.
Yeah, I definitely got to go back and check it out.
I just wanted to see if there was anything that you thought you might have noticed right away.
Just those couple of things. But, you know, the adjustments tend to be tiny at high level. Right?
Right.
Tiny, I mean, they matter, of course.
Yeah.
They matter a lot, actually. But the adjustments themselves are small.
It's like not even necessarily small, but very imperceivable, like unperceivable. Imperceptible. Me fail English? That's impossible. But yeah, but what about like some of the other players not doing so well, like Daigo and GamerB and everything?
I don't think that the Daigo thing is a big surprise. That's Daigo in 2 out of 3s. Or even 3 out of 5s. over the last year-ish, couple years, right? I mean, he hasn't been as dominant in short sets as he is in long sets. That's, like, some people will tell you that long sets are more important and that they show the better player over the long run. I don't really agree with that. I just think that they're different things.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of players. One is a short-term success kind of player, and one is a long-term success kind of player. And neither one is inherently better.
Right.
It's just like most tournaments prioritize short-term. Others prioritize long-term. You know, there certainly are some of those, but most are short-term. And he has to get whatever the issue is figured out, because it's not doing well for him.
So, I mean, the two things that I keep thinking about, right? So you're talking about the short-term, long-term thing, right? Well, long-term not necessarily, it doesn't even mean within the set. I actually feel like long-term even requires just throughout the course of the year. Last year, he just stopped going to events.
Yeah.
And I really think that hurt him. I just feel like he kind of forgot how to play in that 2 out of 3 environment a little bit. You know what I mean? Because he stopped because he didn't want to reveal any of his tech or anything like that. So I think if he goes to more events, which, you know, Mark, I think, or Mad Cat said they're going to try to get him out to more events.
That's good.
So hopefully that will help him. I was talking to another player, too, that he said that the year that he went to a lot of events, he did a lot better than the year that he did. And this is an Evo champion that I'm talking about, too. And the other thing about Daigo, honestly, is I just feel like in 2 out of 3 sets, maybe he should go back to Ryu.
I kind of think in general he should go back to Ryu.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that, too. Yeah,
I don't know, after seeing the way that other people play Evil Ryu, not Snake Eyes, but not just Snake Eyes, many other people, too, I just feel like Daigo's kind of style is, like, more about Ryu than Evil Ryu. I don't know.
Yeah.
And look, Daigo had some awesome Evil Ryu stuff. His match against Smug, where it was Daigo hitting the sit combos and not Smug, was awesome.
Yeah.
So it's not, that's not even the issue, hitting combos. It's just like where he likes to stand and like what he likes to do there. And I feel like he's more Ryu. I mean, that said, I understand that Evil Ryu is a better character. So okay, but
yeah, I mean, in the long, I mean, he can land the combos, but I mean, you saw Snake Eyes land the combos and everything like that. But for some reason, nobody drops more combos than when playing Evil Ryu. This is not even just on Daigo. We've seen Sako drop a bunch of combos.
Sako has, yeah.
Yeah, but I just feel like Daigo,
you know,
the amount of combos that he drops with Evil Ryu, if you average that out to just the basic combos with Ryu, I think he would do about equal damage with both characters, it feels like, you know?
Well, maybe it's a question of where you do the damage, because he still gets like a few hundred damage after out of a crouching medium kick.
Right.
At crouching medium kick range.
Right.
With Ryu, you just don't get that.
Right.
You just don't get that.
That's true.
So you have to be in a closer situation. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like the comparison somebody had up there a little bit ago between sprints and marathons as far as 2 out of 3 versus 4 versus long sets. Both are totally legit. Some people do better in one, some people in the other.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it might be the case that Daigo is better in the marathon, but as you said, maybe the other issue is that he hasn't been training for sprints quite as much.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like that would help a lot. I hope he goes to a lot more smaller tournaments.
Agreed.
Because I think that'll help him.
Yeah, man. There were just so many good players who ended up, 17th, 25th, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because some of them I feel like are even suffering a little bit from character crisis.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if Infiltration should have went with DeCapre so much. I know he used DeCapre against Tampa Bison.
Oh, that was the worst decision.
Yeah, because Tampa Bison trains with NuckleDu all the time.
Yep.
And NuckleDu uses DeCapre.
Yep.
And I think NuckleDu's DeCapre might be better than Infiltration's.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, like Tampa Bison's training partner is like one of the top DeCapres in the world, so hey.
Yeah. So, one of those, I mean, Infiltration, I don't know why he's not using Akuma as much, if he just wants to have more fun now. Or...
I'm sure it's not a fun thing. I feel like he's doing, he's always done what he thinks it takes to win.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
I'm sure he's not doing anything differently on that front. What about Mago, though? Mago Yang. Mago Yang lost to 2 American Bison players.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe he goes back and he's like, I don't know if this is a $500,000 character? I think Yang is good, but I don't know. I wonder if Mago is wondering about that now.
I think it's a legitimate question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're really trying to gun for that 500,000. You went to the first event, didn't go so well. I mean, he finished pretty high regardless, but still, it's a frustration thing, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if he started seeing Mago Fei Long again. It really depends on what his goal is, right? If he really wants to get in on that 500,000, I expect him to go to Fei Long. If he's really playing just to keep doing well and have fun, then he can stick with Yang. I think that's fine.
I just don't.
I liked his Yang.
Yang was fun
right.
for sure.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that fun is the issue. I really don't at this point. I'm serious.
No, I totally.
Fighting games are his job.
Yeah. And you know what?
He takes it seriously.
We talked about this last week. The Japanese players just take that seriously at all. We talked about South by Southwest, how they didn't go out drinking because, you know, like if you treated them to drinks, they would almost consider it like you're sabotaging them. You know?
Yeah, Ryan thought that if you invite them to drinks, that was then they would consider that sabotage.
Right.
Not that they were even going.
Right.
But like asking them in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely, and Mago has always played top tier, and I feel like maybe he thought Yang is top tier, and like, hey, maybe I'm not. Again, I think Yang is really good, but I just wonder if he's thinking about that now.
Right, and then of course like Takedo Gamer B also didn't do so well.
25th places.
Yeah, what do you think about like how Smug performed at this event? I mean, he lost to some
Smug is good
players.
Yeah, Smug. Look, this is.
He lost to Itabashi Zangief, which is a problem matchup for him, and then he lost to Daigo.
So I mean, Smug is a player who's probably think about a secondary.
Yeah, but he bodied everyone in like in the money matches afterwards. I think he only lost to Bonchan, and he lost to.
Oh really?
I think he lost to Tokido, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the most part, he beat up on a whole bunch of people. Like, he beat up on Xiaohai, he beat up on Taco, he beat up on Gamer B. He beat up on a lot of people there.
I think that guy is really, really good.
Yeah. I said this like 3 times during commentary. I feel bad for him because a lot of people see his combos and they know him for Flash, but honestly, that does a disservice to how good of a player he is. He is like super solid, fundamentals, super strong.
Agreed.
And so I would like to see him pick up a secondary character to fight Zangief.
I know he has a T-Hawk because I've seen it.
What?
Yeah.
That was not the character I would have expected.
I've seen it. He's played it at NLBC a couple of times.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Like, he'll play against Shine, I think it is, and he doesn't like Dudley versus Yang.
Oh.
And so he goes T-Hawk.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a good pick.
Yeah.
I feel like Hawk is a good pick against Geef.
Really?
Yeah, I think Hawk has a slight advantage. Now, I don't think he blows Geef up, but I think it's a slight advantage rather than being a significant loss. I feel like that would be a good choice.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. It's just such a high quality tournament that I don't think you can get mad at anybody for getting 25th place. So.
25th at any other event would seem like what happened, but at this event, I mean, there was at least like 40 ridiculously high quality players in that event.
Yeah.
So, 400 plus people, almost 500 people. So
yeah, almost 500. So Marvel?
Yeah, let's do Marvel.
Okay, Filipino champ won it. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go the other way around.
Spoilers!
Oh no! Marvelo got 7th with Nova Doom Strider. Paradigm got 7th with Hagar Rocket Arthur and Hagar Dormammu Doom. Justin got 5th with Wolverine Storm Kuma. Final round bats Black Eye.
Yeah.
Takumi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I blanked on Black Eye. Anyway,
okay.
Magneto Doom Virgil. IG Full Schedule Viper Doom Ami. KIT Cloud 805, Zero Virgil Dante, KPB Terry Bogard, Morgan Dante Strider, Filipino champ, like I said, won it with Magneto Dorm Doom. I think he had a couple of other variations in there, right? I think he played the little Morgan variation for a while. Yeah, and definitely the Phoenix one.
Yeah, but I mean, this was another kind of weird bloodbath kind of situation, but I know like Chris G didn't make top 8, but Chris G's been kind of out of the game. He's a little rusty right now. I'm sure he'll be fine, and I heard he was picking some weird characters or whatever like that, but I have
Let's get back into it.
I have no fear that, I have no doubts that he's going to become super
in everything, whatever he wants to do.
Exactly. So, but Filipino champ, I talked about it a little bit earlier, because the thing about Dhalsim, right? When I watch his Dhalsim play in Street Fighter, he is by far the best at getting out of the corner.
He's slippery.
He knows like 90 different ways out of the corner.
Slippery.
That most Dawson players only know like 10. And as a result, I think that's kind of how he plays Marvel a little.
He's very slippery.
I noticed whenever people super jump at him, he just dashes under them and runs away and does all these things. Mm-hmm. He's so good at avoiding stuff. Dawson's defense is not great by blocking a lot. Dawson's defense is great by keeping you away from him and getting the hell out of there, which is pretty much how you sum up Marvel's defense. you know?
I mean that's how Art played this weekend. That he didn't block.
Yeah,
that was if he was blocking, he was gonna lose probably. It was at the mid range. He was there. He was pressing back medium kick and roundhouse and all whatever. Yeah. That's how those players play.
Yeah, so
it's awesome, so smart.
Not a shock that Marvel that was won by a Filipino champ.
No, not a shock. Yeah. Terry Bogard, though, I think was really, really interesting. So I guess he got second at Curly South.
Oh, okay.
So not entirely out of the blue. He's a Texas player. But still, to get second place and to do it in, totally legit fashion. It wasn't like he was scrubbing people out and, random comebacks or anything. No. In fact, do you recall... I think the thing that most impressed me of anybody, well, maybe other than the Justin thing, but certainly any hit confirm.
The Morgan combo?
The Morgan mid-screen, just under super jump height thing, where he was
uppercut, shell kick, uppercut, kept him in the middle of the screen with that. Was sick.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Morgans do it all the time. I have no idea.
But yeah, I mean, he definitely beat a lot of players and stuff. And the funny thing to me is that, Marvel's getting to that point. It's following that same Marvel 2 path where it's there's few team shells that are significant, right? But not only that, but you can't go into a Marvel 3 tournament now without basically your pool just being full of nothing but killers.
Yeah.
Because the fluff is gone.
The fluff is gone.
All that's left are the super good players.
Agreed.
And it's super scary now.
Yeah.
Marvel is super scary now. So it's cool to me that even in that environment, someone like Terry Bogard, someone like Cosmos, players like that can still excel and get themselves into this upper echelon. It's like the new class of super turbo players that have recently come up and become
right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool and very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that continues for sure. Speaking of the Justin moment, ridiculous comeback.
That was against Cloud, right? Yeah.
Didn't kill Akuma with the OTG that he ends things with every time, 100 times a day. He just jumped too high. And then Justin came back with no X Factor and not much life and
just Akuma.
That happens. Yeah. I think he ended up getting Dante on the fake air throw, but instead you just do launch.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was cool. I mean, good job to Justin. He ended up losing the set though, so.
Yeah, I know. It was funny because even after, someone tweeted and it was so true. They're like, no one's gonna remember Cloud won that. Everyone's just gonna remember the Justin moment.
For sure.
Yeah.
Clockwork got 9th. So did J Rosa, Unknown, and Marlin Pie. Snake Tits got 13th.
Nice.
I actually didn't know he was there.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot.
SoCal.
He plays a lot. He goes to Justin's place and plays a lot of Marvel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dual Kevin, Neo, and Flux got 13th also. Neo, that I didn't know he was putting much time into Marvel
and
still.
I'm actually surprised. No Angelic in top 16, huh?
I guess
Dang,
not.
that's crazy. Okay.
Well, shout outs to Neo for doing well in law school and also still in Marvel. That's not easy. Anything else? Oh, Angelic was 25th, just to nail it down there.
Cool.
Chris G was 17th. Green Ace 25th.
No, let's go on to the next game.
Next game? Sure.
Doesn't want
Come on,
to scroll.
Come on.
Doesn't want to scroll.
It's 1 gigabyte of RAM, alright? So basically what I'm doing is I have my little HP Stream 7, right? And I have this little micro USB thing that hooks up into an Ethernet cable. How sick is that? What? And then I have my little Bluetooth mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
This is like my business setup now.
It works.
This is what I do.
I'm sure it works.
At my office, I have a computer, I have a laptop, and at home I have a laptop, and I'm just leaving them there now. And I'm taking my little thing, my little Stream 7, in between and like shuttling info back and forth, and dude. This is like $100. It's amazing.
Dude,
anyway,
it works.
future.
I mean, like every time I see you use it, I'm always just like,
The
thinking, I
future.
wish I bought one of those when you found it on sale. So
This thing was $79. Anyway, but it has 1 gig of RAM, so as a result,
yeah, can you upgrade
I
it?
mean, no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. That'd be sick if you could upgrade.
It'd be amazing,
that.
yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I mean, it only has like 32 gig hard drive, but you can
okay.
it fits a little micro SD card.
Oh, okay,
so.
okay, cool.
It's working on pretty good memories, except for the RAMs. That's not poverty. That's cool.
Hey, you did
Why
it
is
on
that
purpose.
poverty?
Like it's like.
I think that's awesome. I feel like I'm living in the future over here. To be honest, I can play Civ 5 on this thing.
Have you tried installing Street Fighter on?
I actually did, and there's just not enough memory.
Right.
It's just not. So.
Okay.
I tried installing World of Warcraft, and there's not enough memory. Anyway,
Well, Tekken Tag 2.
let's talk about Tekken Tag 2.
Yeah, so Tekken Tag 2, super hype. Even for a person who doesn't understand Tekken like a lot of other people, that was super hype.
I really enjoy watching Tekken at Final Round. It's always a game that I make sure I get to. Like we were like eating lunch, and we were like watching Marvel on the little phone, like on a stream. And I was like, we got to get back because Tekken's gonna come on. Yep. It's always awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 7th, Just Frame James, Yoshimitsu Martial Law, Trunji with Steve Lars, Speed Kicks with Hwarang Jin. 5th also was Wei Gamble with Unknown Fang.
Yeah, Unknown is a character I had never seen up until that moment.
BMNS 13 with Bacon Hwarang. Naps, with Brian and Dragunov, and then Incognito, with Brian and Bob, and then JDCR won the whole thing. What are you gonna do with Armor King and Heihachi?
Yeah, most interesting story from this one was so Atlanta, obviously super hotbed of Tekken.
Yes.
Right? So fortunately, during the top 8, I was sitting next to Rip and Eris, so I was just asking him all sorts of questions and stuff, like finding out which characters were considered cheap and all these things like that and all this stuff. But if you look at this top 8 here, so first was Korea, right? So JDCR, obviously one of the best in the world, right? Incognito, San Diego. Mr. Naps is NorCal. BMNS apparently was from, I think, Saudi Arabia, but now he lives in California.
Yeah.
And Just Frame James from California. So apparently one of the big stories is just that California pretty much just kicked ass in the game, right? So Speed Kicks was the highest placing Atlanta player. They were all cheering for him against Incognito.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So and Incognito, after he won it, like it was like down to last round. A lot of them were that way.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he went up against Mr. Naps. And the story that I heard on that one is that a few years ago, I think, Incognito beat Mr. Naps, Brian, because they both use Brian, right? And Incognito kind of popped off, like, I'm the best Brian. And apparently that fueled Mr. Naps, and since then, he has never beaten Mr. Naps.
Oh, yeah?
in a major tournament, yeah. And so him beating Mr. Naps here to get to Grand Finals is actually kind of a big deal. And then he made it super close against JDCR, but JDCR just too good. So
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it was California in the top 3 didn't seem to tamper the crowd at all, because they just wanted America to win at that point. And so like when Naps was playing against JDCR, I saw a guy, like, I think it was Pokeshop actually, who like ran out of the room and he was like, hey everybody, Naps is up 2-0 against like, this is in rounds, it's not even in games, but everybody was like, what, and like rushed into the room. Right. So it was pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny too, because after Mr. Naps lost on the winner's side against JDCR, I asked Rip who had a better chance between Naps and Incognito, and he said Naps is probably a better player overall, but Incognito is like the crazy guy. He just does things. And so he's like, I kind of want to see him play against JDCR and see if that works out pretty well. Okay. And it seemed to work out pretty good, because when I was watching them, I just kept hearing Rip and Eris be like, why why would you do that? What's he doing? You know, like constantly, but occasionally it would work.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was 3-2 in grand finals. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it was
super
close.
super close.
That
I think it was like last match, last round.
Yeah. It was pretty hype for sure.
Yeah.
I was like watching that there.
Did you want to talk a little bit about Tekken 7 while we're here?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Okay, because it was there.
Yes.
And Harada came to his first final round, apparently.
Oh, it was his first one?
That's what I read on Twitter, and
wow.
You know how accurate Twitter always is.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know, Tekken 7 was there, so a lot of people got to play it. I got to talk to Rip and Eris about that a lot, too. And they say that it seems like they're doing a lot to make it like a little more beginner friendly.
I heard a bunch of people describe it as Street Fighter 4 of Tekken.
Yeah.
Like a little easier, a little bit less like complex. And a couple of the guys I talked with were like appreciative of that and like understanding, but like not that hype personally.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that are going to help, right? So learning one character is going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So like for both me and you, like you played Jack and...
I really tried to learn Tag 2. I put in some months, and I played Jax just because it was like not easy for me to learn one character because I hadn't played since like 04 or 05 or something.
Dude, you actually played.
I did, yeah. I mean, I did play Tekken, but that was just a decade ago.
Right.
So I tried to learn it, and it was not easy to learn two characters and like be playing against two characters simultaneously. I mean, look, I could have kept up with it, of course, but would it be easier to have learned one against one? Yeah. So for that reason, I'm looking forward to 7.
Right. They also said that like the Okazeme is a lot more forgiving. Like in Tekken, like a lot of the previous Tekkens, like if the opponent reads your Okazeme, like they will really hurt you. They just get big damage. And apparently it's easier to get up in this game. It's like not as risky or something. He didn't really go into detail exactly why or how, but you know, he just kind of said it's a little more forgiving that way. So, and yeah, I mean, there's like the new rage system where you get that super move that has armor and all these things like that. And dude, did you see the video on the slow motion thing that they do? That's
at the end of the round?
Yeah, that's actually pretty sick. So apparently what happens is if two people are about to hit each other, the game can figure out if the ending is ambiguous, and it'll go into super slow motion. Like, it's not all the time. It's only like if both of them are about to die, and it's like
I didn't know
super
that.
Cut. That's what Rip and Ares told me.
Okay.
I think that's kind of sick.
Okay, I like that.
I think that's kind of sick, and
like the game knows what's going to happen as soon as you both press your buttons. Right. It already has it calculated, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So presentation, I think that's fantastic. I think, you know, a game like Tekken could use a little extra presentation of in-game stuff. You know, and don't get me wrong, the game looked beautiful.
Of course.
I thought 6 looked beautiful, but
yeah,
Tekken,
it's been always a pretty series.
Yeah, but Tekken 7 looked amazing. Like it just looked really good. So
I agree. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. I also did get to speak to Harada. First time I've introduced myself to him.
Okay.
And I really just thanked him for the community interaction that he's been doing. Because I think that's so important what he's doing. With like the bringing it to these events and streaming the beta, which nobody else does. Everyone else is still, don't take any pictures during the beta, you know. But he was just like, let's just stream it. I think that's fantastic.
I totally agree. Yeah. You want to talk about Xrd?
Yes.
So, top 8, Zynak with Faust, Karumster with Milia were 7th places, Doran 2K with Elfelt, and Nerdjosh with Elfelt 5th places. 4th was Elven Shadow Faust, 3rd was Black Snake Venom, 2nd place Marlin Pie with Zato, and then 1st was Arcapa Kazunoko with Soul and Kai. Probably not a big...
Right, but Marlin Pie apparently in Winners Final sent Kazunoko to losers.
Did he?
Kazunoko apparently switched to Kai.
Oh, I heard about that.
To fight Marlin Pie in grand finals, and it was still pretty close, but he just needed a better zoning kind of character to fight against Marlin Pie.
Well, apparently, according to this, it was 3-2 in winners finals, and then it was 0-3 reset, 0-3.
Oh, okay. So the Kai
maybe not
pick,
that close with Kai.
So the Kai pick apparently was super good for him.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, not a surprise that Kazunoko won it. That's the game that he came from. So.
You know, I talked with a few people this weekend who didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole reason why he picked Yun.
yeah. I mean, we've talked about this. I know, but I don't know. I feel like any history that's beyond just a couple of years at this point is like missed out by a lot of people. So,
like the whole Mike Ross and Combo Fiend.
Exactly.
I think we talked about it a little last week,
we
right?
did,
yeah, that people forget that Combo Fiend is like one of the greatest fighting game players of all time.
Yeah, he really is. Though.
I mean, in the talks of who's the best overall fighting game player.
Yeah, like all around multi-game.
Yeah, every game. Like Tokido always comes up, Justin always comes up, Ryan Hart comes up, and Combo Fiend comes up.
Combo Fiend's got to be on that list.
Because Combo Fiend used to win everything. He played everything.
I remember even towards like the end of his tournament life, he picked up KOF 13 for like a week and then got like grand finals or top 3 or something. He was just like, you know.
So really cool stuff on Guilty Gear. Almost 256 people entered that tournament.
Rad.
It was really cool. I heard, they definitely had a lot of complaints with some of the tournament organization and stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that at the end of our final round segment.
Okay,
so.
Cool.
Killer Instinct, Martial Law, KOF. I'm sorry, I just think that name is hilarious. You don't think that's funny?
Martial Law KOF playing TJ Combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Killer Instinct. I think it's funny.
Okay.
Argonaros with Jago. Then fifth were Grief with Sadira and Shin Tristan with Thunder and Sadira. Base NS, Spinal, Paul B. Ripter, Gimpy with TJ Combo, and CD Jr. won the whole thing with Maya and Jago. Any chance that Gimpy is the former Smash Bros. Player?
I don't think that's him. No, I don't.
I've never heard anybody else have that name. So
no,
okay.
He told me. So I talked to CD Jr. a little bit. He said it was super close.
Yeah.
He said Gimpy almost beat him, but he said that Gimpy is apparently a really high up and coming TJ Combo player.
I guess,
really
yeah.
Good, so.
Yeah, apparently it was 3-2 reset and then 2-3 in grand finals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I also asked CD Jr. as well. I was like, so what are you going to concentrate on, Killer Instinct or MKX? And he was like, I'm going to play both.
Yeah, well, he has the skill to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, he seems super happy that he won. So congratulations to CD Jr. So,
Lord Knight won BBCP with Kokonoe. And Under Night in Birth, EXE late.
2 gigabyte.
2 gigabyte.
From NorCal won that one.
From NorCal.
Very
NorCal
close.
continues its streak of basically winning everything.
Yeah, it was very close though. It was very close. It was a very close match.
It was a really good set.
With Splako, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah.
aka Sushi.
And Molly Maiko got third, which is also NorCal.
You got to give them props, man.
Yeah,
I guess they're the best.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a tournament and they're finishing top 2 out of 3, and that tournament contains Sonic Fox, then you know that you must be doing good. If Sonic Fox is not winning your tournament, you know you're playing well.
Yeah, it was Argonaros with Line, Nobody EXE with Batista, Sabin with Hilda, Corn Footwork with Gordo, Sonic Fox with Carmine, Loli Maiko Batista, Splako with Hilda, and 2 gigabyte combo with Carmine.
I guess Splako is more well known as Sushi.
Sushi,
right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. I heard he was from Canada.
2 Hildas, yes.
I heard Sushi's from Canada.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
I mean, I've definitely seen him play, but I don't know.
Dude, I must be really wanting to play Under Night Birth again, because I had a dream I was playing it last night.
Oh, dude, I haven't had that dream for a little while. Yeah,
I had a dream I was playing it, but it was on a weird Japanese arcade cabinet where you had to set your buttons, and my buttons kept getting messed up. And in between rounds, it kept changing my characters. And during the second round, I went for Nanase, which was a chibi Nanase, by the way.
Wow.
And it turned into Yamazaki.
What?
And guess who I was playing against? Justin Wong.
Oh, really?
I was playing Justin Wong, and we were sitting there playing Under Night and
That is just crazy.
And then eventually Justin's girlfriend came up and played too, and it was just the weirdest dream. I have no idea.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
But my buttons kept getting messed up, and my character kept changing between rounds. So
that game had a nice showing. Showing.
Absolutely.
And it was good to watch as always.
Yeah,
so.
I hope it keeps going on. So.
Top 3 of KOF 13 was Dako 3rd place, Shen 2nd place, Shanghai 1st place. 4th place, Shore Juken.
So you did well then. You did well in KOF.
Yeah, secretly I continued my KOF life. I didn't drop it like.
Well, I don't know. That's a pretty good name. But look at 5th place is Mundane Cinderella. Mundane Cinderella. Flocker? I didn't even know Flocker played this game.
Yeah, Flocker.
Oh, okay,
sure.
okay.
7th place, Things I Hate About Dave O. Yeah.
Sure, Juken and Things I Hate About Dave O.
MC Static won DOA. That's good stuff. Yeah. The brothers, Sonic Fox.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see any of the DOA stuff, so we slept in super late on Sunday. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was an exhausting day previously. So, Melee won by Wizrobe, The Moon 2nd, Smash Bros. Wii U, Static Manny. Oh yeah, I talked with D1 about this. He said it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Static Manny, Sonic's 1st place, Stingers 2nd place, Diddy, Player 1 3rd place, Diddy and Villager.
Okay.
Sweet. Cool. Okay, well, you want to take a break, and when we come back, let's talk about other stuff at Final Round, and then we'll talk about like whatever else we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll be right back.